Hippo Balls, Week 15, coming to you live from the Hippo Den. It is Hippo himself with a special edition of Hippo Balls, late night edition. I just flew back from Sarasota, was at a weird plantation farm wedding last night. Probably got COVID again for the 20th time. But we're on to this week's matchups and this week's who's back, who's dead, and who's not back but not dead. And we have had a day in the group, of course. New segment, Who's Immortalized? And that is Jan Ruzelbron. What a day he has had. Starts off with Argentina-France in the World Cup final. Argentina-France playing each other. Argentina's up 2-0. Looks like they're just going to blow it away and win it. Not so fast. Mbappe and France come back 2-2. Argentina goes and gets a third goal at the end there, and it looks like they're going to win again. Not so fast. France gets another goal. 3-3. Goes into OT. Back and forth, chaos, bedlam. I don't watch a ton of soccer, but this was the best game of all time. Jan must have been going fucking nuts. Goes into penalties. Argentina pulls it off. Come from behind. Very exciting game. Jan's already having a day. Noah, him, Nima all jumping up and down, screaming. I don't know who else was there, but he's dancing in the streets. Bedlam. Great time for Jan so far. He's still got the matchup with Gabe ahead. And, of course, going into the week, Gabe was favored. Gabe's players end up not doing so well. Jan's players doing well. Jan starts pulling ahead. Looks like Jan's going to win. Not so fast. More adversity. Gabe starts dominating. Some of his players start... Fields goes off. And then he has... what's his name? The wide receiver goes off. And then... Sorry, I didn't write enough of this. But and then Burrow's not doing anything in the first half. And it looks like Gabe's actually going to sneak this. Gabe's just creeping back. Now it's tied in the projections. Now Gabe's up in the projections. And I get on this flight to Tallahassee, and there's no Wi-Fi because it's like a rinky-dink propeller plane. And I'm looking at it. It looks like Gabe's going to win. Not so fast. Jan's a man who fights adversity. Jan's a jammer. Jammers never die. I get off the plane. Burrow scored 3 TDs. Miles Sanders and Pat Freiermuth have the worst game of their careers. Jan goes on to win. Jan's dancing in the streets again. Jan killed the commissioner. Jan's immortalized forever as a legend. Have a day. On to regular who's back. It is my first wedding anniversary today, and even though I'm at home alone without Robin and not really celebrating with her, I did see her this morning. We shared an embrace. We had a good time at the wedding last night. So good for us on our first wedding anniversary. Still married. Also, who's back again? Robin is back. She won her survivor pool. We play with a bunch of people throughout the state of Florida. We had 277 people play, and Robin outlasted everyone with the help of me, kind of, which she hasn't paid me any money yet. But made a ton of money in the survivor pool. Robin won that. Congrats to her. She is the breadwinner of the family now. I'm going to stay home and do chores now that she's the breadwinner. Next, we got Mistaken Identity. Cardinals were in Mexico City, Week 11 versus the 49ers. Mexican authorities after the game say that Sean Kruger, the O-line coach at the time, groped a woman. Weird story comes out that he's like blacked out after the game and he gropes some woman. Immediately gets fired. A week ago, Steve Keim, who's the GM of the Cardinals, steps aside with weird health reasons. And you know when it's health reasons, either like drugs or sex, or you did something really bad and they just say like, I'm stepping aside for health reasons. So that was weird. And now Sean Kruger files a request for arbitration with the NFL due to mistaken identity. So people are putting together the pieces. These are two fat white guys, bearded white guys that kind of look similar, that are wearing Cardinal shirts in Mexico City. And this Mexican lady says that this fat bearded white guy in a Cardinal shirt groped her. Did Keim let Cougar take a fall and assume that no one was ever going to find out? And now Cougar is going to sue the NFL and the Cardinals for like billions of dollars. And it turns out that Keim is the groper and the scumbag. Great story. Would love to see a Hard Knocks on that. Next, we got Donald Trump. NFTs have been dead. I've lost all my money in NFTs. Me, Nima, and Vivek were buying NFTs. I think they got out in time. I still have all my NFTs. They're completely worthless. I've lost uncomfortable amounts of money. NFT market is dead. One person who can save the NFT market. Donald fucking Trump. Donald Trump drops a 45,000 NFT collection, 45,000 of them. Usually a collection's like 5,000, 10,000. 45,000 is unheard of. He sells them $99 a piece. They sell out within 12 hours. He immediately makes $6 million. Turns out the artwork's stolen. He's selling them to these random old MAGA people. He's taking 10% fees every time they're sold. They're through the roof, by the way. If you bought them for $99, they're at like $500, $1,000. It's crazy. And it looks so stupid. But anything this guy touches, people fucking love it. It's crazy. He brought NFTs back. Trump's back. Unbelievable. Ridiculous world we're living in. Lastly, on what's back, of course, we have Hanukkah. Tonight is the first night of Hanukkah as well. So wishing everybody happy Hanukkah. Hanukkah, or the Festival of Lights, celebrates victory of the Jewish Maccabees over Syria's brutally repressive Seleucid Empire in the 2nd century. As the story goes, a small army of Jews known as the Maccabees, led by the priest Judah, were able to recover their temple in Jerusalem from the Seleucid forces who'd been using it to worship Zeus. I don't know why Zeus is so bad, but the Maccabees rededicated the building as the second temple and decided to light oil lamps to illuminate the house of worship. Though they only had enough oil to last a single night, somehow the oil continues to burn for the next 8 days. Great oil. The word Hanukkah means dedication and commemorates the miracle of light that occurred when Judah rededicated the temple to the Hebrew God. Jews around the world today remember the miracle by saying a prayer and lighting a menorah and 9-branch candelabra once a night for 8 days. So that's a little Hebrew Hanukkah lesson for our not Jewish friends. Moving on to who's dead. The Commish is dead. Jan killed the Commish. He fought back valiantly to get into the playoffs, made a ton of moves this year, scrapped and scratched his way into the playoffs. Looks like he was moving on, not so fast. Jan Goblin Demon Mode legend status today. Unreal. Ben also dead, unfortunately. I had to, of course, one of us had to win. I'm happy it was me. But Ben was a very kind and respectful competitor. I wish him nothing but the best. Next up on Who's Dead, SBF. Sam Bankman-Fried again in the list of Who's Dead. He's been having a horrific time in Bahamas jail. It's one of the worst jails in the world. It's overcrowded. There's rats. There's poop. It's horrible. He doesn't have his vegan food. He's in a cell with like 100 people. He's completely miserable. His parents are begging them to give him vegan food. They don't care. It's Bahamas jail. Nothing matters there. He's having such a bad time that he's agreeing to be extradited to the U.S. He's super fucked, but he'd rather be in U.S. jail than Bahamas jail. Lastly, on Who's Dead, we got P22. P22 is a mountain lion that's been roaming the Los Angeles Hollywood Hills for the past like 20 years. And I guess it's this friendly mountain lion that people just go up to and hang out with. Unfortunately, he was like a legend in LA, I guess. And it was a big deal that he's dead. Allegedly, he had a bunch of injuries and chronic health problems, so they euthanized P22. RIP P22. Who's not back but not dead? We got free speech. Elon banned a ton of journalists for doxing his location, and they said that's assassination coordinates. Ridiculous. Right now, he has a poll to step down from Twitter. I voted yes. He should, of course, even though I don't know. Today he's hanging out with Jared Kushner at the World Cup with a bunch of Saudi guys. Don't like the way he moves. I don't like anything he's doing. Banning journalists, of course, ridiculous. I guess he can do whatever he wants with Twitter, but fuck that guy. Next up, we got a story about a mom cyberbullying so this is crazy. There's his daughter in a school. I think it's Michigan or Ohio. I don't have the story in front of me, but his daughter is getting cyberbullied super hard, and she's complaining to the school. She's complaining to her mom every day, and she's like, "Mom, this girl's killing me online. Like, I don't know. I'm feeling really down." Turns out it was the mom cyberbullying her. The mom was catfishing her and pretending that she was the same age as her and saying horrific things to her and trying to like steal her boyfriend. Crazy stuff. She got arrested for cyberbullying her own daughter. Really ridiculous story. You got to read up on that. Next up on Not Back But Not Dead, we got reparations. Reparations in California. they're saying that they're going to give black people $350,000 from being from slave lineage. I need to look into ancestry and see if I got anything on me. 350K is crazy. I don't see how that passes, but they're talking about reparations in California. I don't think that's coming to Florida. Lastly, on who's not back but not dead, we got Amari Stoudemire. Amari Stoudemire arrested this morning for battery. He punched his daughter last night. He graduates from yesterday, got his MBA, good for Amari. But then afterward, he punches his daughter in the face. First night of Hanukkah, by the way. Stoudemire, charged with battery, allegedly told cops his daughter received a whooping from him for being disrespectful and a liar. Stoudemire allegedly punched his daughter in the jaw and slapped her several times after giving attitude. Police say they saw bloodstains. Real weird. And then he just posted this thing on Instagram: over the last 24 hours, an incident at my family home led to me being charged with assaulting my daughter. It's an allegation based on a report that does not square the facts. I am of Jewish faith. Today's Jewish people all over the world celebrate Hanukkah. Weird move to be like, I'm a Jew, so you can't cancel me from Amari. But, he's one of us, so I guess I'll let it slide. Great matchups this week. Great games. I'm happy to be moving on. Huge matchup with Nima next week. Jan, huge matchup with Navid. Let's have a day. Happy Sunday. Jan forever.